Namaste. This is our yen flow for today. I'm going to be a little bit more anatomical with the subject matter because we've been on some heavy subjects this week, so I thought I would lighten it up. Um, when we are going through our yoga practice, when we're doing our movement with the asanas, we know that when we're moving the body, we're helping the body because the body's meant to move. I had a private last night with a gentleman who's a husband of a student of mine. And she contacted me this past week and said, hey, he's never done yoga. Can we arrange a private? He has some digestive issues going on and he has neuropathy. So his neuropathy was with his feet. Lots of times the neuropathy will happen in the hands and feet. And it's that lack of circulation or lack of um, good blood flow to that area, or the nerve endings that travel here, so it causes a state of numbness or tingling and sometimes even pain. But anyway, so those were the things that I knew was kind of going on with this gentleman. And when I met with him last night, I was trying to explain how much yoga and meditation can help with both of these issues. Yoga and meditation are actually at the top of the list for stress relief. And we know that stress can wreak havoc on the body, and stress typically is the number one cause for mishaps and ailments that crop up in the body. With it being a mind body practice, that's one of the reasons the central piece of yoga is the breath, because the breath can connect the mind and the body. The breath is making it available to calm and reset our nervous system. The breath also assists with digestion if we're breathing well and deep down into the abdomen. And we know that moving the body in such a way that we're getting all six directions that the spine is meant to go in, which is what yoga is really known for, is really great, again, both for digestion and the nervous system. So if you think about the brain kind of being the control center of the body, it has this brain stem coming down the neck and these nerves that travel down through the spinal column. Well, down through the spinal column, we also have the bones, the vertebrae, and then we also have the spongy, soft tissue of disc in between each one. And within that space in between each vertebra, there's also the nerve roots. So the movement of side to side, back bending forward, folding, twisting is really helping to nourish the nerves. It's really helping to keep the body mobile. It's helpful to get the body digesting and processing the food so that we're able to keep and maintain what we need, but able to flush out the things that we don't need. So really just coming to this practice and moving and breathing is going to be great for these type of issues in the body. And we'll go ahead and get started. We're going to use a little bit of everything today. So please have, a blanket, a strap, bolster, and blocks. So I want us to start actually in child pose or tadpole. Legs can be together or apart as we fold over the lap and extend the arms out in front of us. Now already, feel the stretch in the tops of the feet, the front of the ankles, and really wherever we're sensing sensation is going to be where the blood flow is being directed. but it's also where we're opening up the energetic channels, where the life force energy runs. The arms outstretched in front of us are going to help to create just a little extra traction through the vertebrae, through the spine, opening up space for the nerve root. And pouring down to the forehead is going to help to stimulate the acupressure points at the brow. This is also the area where applied pressure is put to calm the vagus nerve, one of the major nerves in the upper body. If you haven't already begun to take control over your breath, do so now. Breathing in and out through the nose unless you need your mouth. Each time you're inhaling, you're trying to experience the inflation of your lungs. As you exhale, feel them deflate. See if you can experience movement in the front body, in your side body, in your back body. As your lungs expand and contract. Even folding over this way is great for digestion as well. Have a little bit of pressure at the belly. Breathing down into the belly, which helps to give the organs an internal massage. On your next inhale, however, lift your face up. Walk or slide your hands over to the right, keeping your hands shoulder distance apart. Keep the left elbow flying up as your head lowers down. Feel that left lung really ballooning out, maybe even lifting the side body up slightly. Feel the lungs empty. Notice you slightly dip back down. Next in breath, go ahead and lift the face up. Walk or slide the arms over all the way to the left side of your mat. Down your head. Even feeling that stretch come into the pit of the arm, or we can flush out the lymph nodes housed here. Breathing into that right side body, more specifically into that right lung. Already we've taken the spine in 3 directions. We did a forward fold. We're still in a forward fold, but we've also incorporated the side bend to either side. Now go ahead and walk your hands back to the center of the mat. Rock up to hands and knees, and you may need to crawl the knees more together to stack underneath your hips. You may need to crawl your hands back to get them aligned with precision underneath the head of the shoulder bones. From here, we're going to open up some circulation to the hands, since neuropathy can affect the hands. We're going to flip the left palm to face up, fingertips pointed towards the left knee. Now keep your right arm strong and your belly slightly tucked in. So you're not overbearing your weight on that left wrist. Then flip your left hand back down as normal. Spin and dial it to the left and all the way back around towards your left knee. But this time your palm is facing down. Now this can be a pretty intense stretch here, so don't force it. Just do your best. This is a great stretch to prevent carpal tunnel syndrome. And if you utilize your hands a lot, if you're crafty, if you garden, you're a musician, anytime the hands are more clawed, this is a great stretch to maintain health in this region. All right, we're going to spin the fingertips back around. We're going to transfer to the right side, opening up the right palm. Just flip it open. Anchoring through your knee, shins, left hand. This is also a great counter position for weight bearing. So if you're ever doing the strong vinyasa practice and your wrist gets sore, this is a good one to try. All right, flip the palm back down, and then you're going to dial it to the right and keep spinning it so that it turns to face your right knee. You may even notice slight more sensitivity on the hand that is usually the mouse hand if you're on the computer a lot. Gently spin that hand back around. All right, from here, we're going to inhale, open up to cow tilt, dropping and swooping through the low back and belly and rising up high through the chest and chin. As you exhale, you're going to tilt the pelvis so the tailbone's facing the floor. Scoop in through the belly, arc high through the shoulder blades, and bow your head. Inhale, rolling open to cow tilt. Exhaling into cat stretch. So we're just flexing the spine back and forth. And remember, the abdominal region is where all the digestive organs lie. So just imagine what this movement is doing for them. With the spine and its flexion, again, think about the nerves. Now, after your next cat stretch, we're going to return to tabletop. We're going to open up the left hand, spinning it to the left. And then you're going to thread the needle, slipping and sliding the left arm underneath the right. Now, at first, we're going to be active, which means we're pressing ever so lightly into the right hand. You may find you're naturally starting to engage the core, hugging the belly in, rolling slightly towards the left shoulder. Now we're going to become more yin, which means I want you to slide your right hand ahead, sink down to the right forearm, and sink down to the left side of your face, onto your cheekbone. This way, the belly can sag again. You're basically loosening your muscles so that it's now more about the stretch you're receiving on the outseam of the arm that you're lying on. Now continue to hold and breathe here, and just remember a lot of these energetic meridians begin or end at the hands and the feet, where people often experience neuropathy. So close your eyes, rest and breathe a moment. Now slide your right hand back in front of your face, power down through that hand to return to tabletop. We're going to do that sequence to the other side. So the right hand will circle up, and as you exhale, you'll loop it underneath the left arm. Thread the needle the active way first. So pressing lightly into your left hand, pulling into the belly, rolling towards the back of the right shoulder. Aiming a consistent breath. And then flopping down to the face, down to the left forearm. In yoga poses, we actually begin to feel a little tingling in the hands and the feet. And usually that's not neuropathy. Usually that's just us tapping in, feeling that energy percolate and open up. Couple more breaths here. And now slide your left hand closer to the face to lift to table, long enough to walk the hands beyond, to curl the toes under, and to lift up to downward facing dog. And from your downward facing dog, pressing into the hands, stretching long through your arms and vertebrae. We're going to bend the right knee and sink down through the left calf and heel. Staying put here. And then swap. Straighten your right leg. Lower your calf. Bend your left knee. Keep breathing. Swap sides. Bend the right knee. Straighten your left leg. Pump the heel downward. And then swap. Left knee bends. Right leg elongates. Right heel sinking down. Do it one more time to each side. And then begin to walk and travel the feet forward towards the top of the mat. Once the feet come forward, lower down and have your knees softly bent. Turn your head from side to side like you're saying no. And then start to nod your head yes. Lifting it slightly up and then spilling it back down. And let your head fall heavy. Let your arms be free. So already in this position, we're benefiting both of the things that we're talking about anatomically today. This is helpful for digestion, especially if you're still doing your deep diaphragmatic breaths, especially if your belly may be touching the top of your thighs. It's also helpful for gaining more space and length in the lower lumbar area of the back, where we do a lot of constant sitting and standing, walking. Know this one can be pretty intense, but let's see if we can go ahead and take a hold of our forearms, maybe taking it a little bit deeper. With the arms out of the way, we have less of an impact of impeding our spine, less of anything blocking our way. We're just giving into gravity. Know that this is also good for the thyroid gland, thymus gland, the pituitary gland, the pineal gland. And then take the arms and catch them behind your legs. You may take this motion, this action, to bring the belly and the thighs together. Please don't force the two together. Although if you bend the knees more, that could be helpful. You don't have to have the compression. All right, we're going to release the hands. And now we're going to step the left foot back behind us. We're going to lunge that front knee. We're going to sink the back knee to the floor. And this is where, if you want that blanket, of course, under the back knee added in, you can have hands on blocks if you need them. You can rest on the fists. But we're going to be on the top portion of the back foot, and we're going to bow the head initially. Now lift your head up and curl the back toes under. Since we've been here for a little bit, you're welcome to grab your blocks, station your hands on, untuck the toes, shift the hips back, and then step the left foot forward. So we can basically just swap to that second side. Be on the top portion of the back foot. Again, you can use blocks or you can use fists or fingertips. Bow your head at first. Lift the head, curl the toes down on that back foot.
Then you may or may not be able to flatten your palms at this point, but we're going to transition to plank. So if you need to transfer back again with the blocks to bring the knees together and then move the blocks to come to table, then look to plank, that's okay. Streamline your body here, gain some strength in your muscle and bone. And as you exhale, we're going to pop the hips up, maybe travel the feet a baby step forward and create downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, we're going to come back to the knees. And now we're going to concentrate on another yin position. The right arm is going to prop in front of us. The left arm is going to extend in front of us. And then we'll lower into half melting heart. Inhale, lift the head. We replace the right arm with the left. Send the right arm in front. And strike the pose. Melting heart. Half Anahatasana. Inhale, we're coming up. As we exhale, crawl the knees forward, come down to your seat. And we're going to set up the props around us. So the blocks, go ahead and set beside you somewhere. Grab your strap. And then let's roll down to the spine. And the first thing we're going to do is lift the left leg up. And we're going to catch it with the hands. Now, you do have a strap if you prefer a strap. And we are going to use the strap in a moment. But I thought we could be a little bit more yin with our approach here, meaning that we're not trying to do anything necessarily with the top foot yet. more or less relaxed. We're just finding the edge of flexibility here. Now that we've been warming up the leg, I want you to release your hands down to your abdomen. And we're going to activate this top foot by pointing the toes. And then I want you to imagine that your pointed foot is like a Sharpie pen. And you're going to create your initials, just like you're drawing it out. And do it a couple times. Notice when you're drawing with your foot where it tends to feel stiff. And then go ahead and circle the ankle. One way, the other. Now, pump the heel up. Spread the toes wide. Reach the ball of the foot up. Find your strap. Bend the knee to put it around the bottom of the foot. You're going to hold the strap in your left hand and you're going to slide your right leg out in front of you. So on your inhale, you're waving the leg to the left. And as you exhale, you're bringing it to the top and crossing it a portion over your midline. So without the twist. Inhale, external rotation of the hip, adducting the leg, and then bring it back into adduction where it crosses over the belly. Couple more rounds. Next time you bring the leg up, catch the strap with your right hand. Now we'll take that spinal twist. Hold and breathe. Remember, everything is interconnected together. And sometimes when we feel like one part of the body is in pain or experiencing some sort of ailment, that may not actually be the root cause. It may be something that attaches to it, and it may be stemming from another tight area in the body. And I have a great example for this. My boyfriend the last couple of days complained about his right knee not feeling right. And he thought he had maybe done something to it. Well, he ended up going to the massage therapist last night, and she was talking about how tight his right quads and IT band was. And the quads and the IT band definitely attach and affect the knee. Once she worked out the tension, he got up from the table, and he hasn't experienced any knee issues since. All right, inhale, bring that leg back up. Exhale, bend the knee, remove the strap. All right, we're going to stay on this left side. Bend both knees. Cross the left ankle over the right thigh, and you can be here. You can hover your right foot, or you can link your hands behind your right thigh bone. If you want to be truly yin, block the right foot, soften both ankles, all 10 toes. Breathe. Hold for 3 more breaths. Once you release, stack the left foot down, pick the right leg up, catch it with your hands. We'll do the sequence here now. There's no necessary flexion in that right foot at the moment. Now we'll bring the hands to the belly. We are going to point the toes of the foot. And we're going to draw our initials again. Do that a couple times. Again, noticing where the foot gets stiff. And then circle and rotate the ankle several times one way, then the other. Bend the knee. Use the strap. Sail the leg up and extend the left leg down the mat. All right, changing up our direction here. Inhale, fan the leg to the right. Exhale, cross it over the belly. Do this nice and slow in sync with breath. Next time you cross over, catch it with your left hand. Take a spinal twist here. The right side of your seat lifts off the floor. So remember, if your knee gives you any trouble, maybe try stretching your quads, your IT band. The IT band is what we're gaining here, but also your hamstrings. You know, basically everything that surrounds it, even your calves, even your shins, even your hips and your feet. Inhale, let's bring the leg back up overhead. Exhale, bend the knee, remove the strap. And cross the right ankle over the left knee for half pigeon. Pick up that left foot if you want, or hug it in if that feels better. The yin approach is keeping the feet relaxed. The active way is to keep the feet flexed. Right, let's release our hold. Stamp both feet down. Bring your arms beside you, and you can lift to a two-legged table. You can lift higher up into bridge. You could even use one of these blocks beside you to create something more restorative. Not giving too much instruction in case you want to do it the yin way. Just basically lifting up, creating the shape, being in it, breathing in it, sustaining it for a period of time without the alignment cues. Out, breath, roll it down, catch your knees, Apanasana, good for lengthening the low back, bringing traction to that area, but also good for digestion, helping to release any excess air that may be trapped inside. Now, I want you to roll over. Well, you can either rock and roll up, or you can roll to one side and pick yourself up. We're gonna use more props now. The bolster is going to be behind us. The strap, we want to loop up. So once you thread the loose end through the bracket and create a loop, we're going to take the loop around the body. So it's hanging at the low back, crossing on top of your thighs, and tucking up underneath the feet. And then we tighten the strap. Now, please don't tighten it so much that your heels are coming too close to the pubic bone, because that's going to be too much to the knees. And we're already going to be feeling enough sensation through the inner thighs and hips. Now, this is going to be a yin way, even though we're in a restorative back bend, to open up this second chakra here. If you find that once you roll back, it's too much sensation and you need the blocks, that's another reason I have the blocks here for you. You can stuff them underneath the knees. So you have both the strap creating the sensation, but you have the blocks to elevate the knees so it's not too much. Okay, so yogi's choice there. And then, of course, your blanket can be used as a pillow under your head, or a blanket to keep yourself warm. Excuse me. Before you start to exit this pose, and there's different ways to do it. You could technically flutter the knees up and then push one foot into the strap to free up the other. And then you can roll to one side and come up. Or if you need to push down through your hands and use upper body strength to come straight off the bolster, you can also do that. All right, we've got one more pose here. Let's take the strap away and transfer the bolster out in front of us. We're going to use the blanket again. You can use the blanket, fold it up in this manner. To wrap around the legs, to tuck up underneath your thighs. So the legs are swaddled here. And recline to your back. And if you're feeling like your environment is a little cooler, you could keep your legs stacked with the bolster turned this direction or sideways and cover completely with the blanket. So I love gentle and yin and restorative poses because they truly are the best styles of yoga for proper stress release.
Relieving our stress can be optimal for our health and well-being. Affirm mentally to yourself, bones, muscles, movement. I surrender now. Anxiety, elation, depression, any and all churning thoughts, I now give over to the hands of peace. I'm going to recite that affirmation again. Bones, muscles, movement. I surrender now. Anxiety, elation, depression, any and all churning thoughts, I now give over to the hands of peace. Peace, be still, and know that I am. Continue to breathe in and out through the nose. Sorry about the distractions. Sorry about that. Someone just came home. Move right back into your breath. So that was actually a nice little thing to happen, because if it startled you, notice the body's response. That's the stress response. Beauty is we have the breath that can slow the heart rate down. Bring your awareness back inside. And cultivate the state of calm, peace, equanimity within. please know if you need more stress relief, if you need more time to relax, you can remain as you are. Pause the video. But let's go ahead and begin to awaken some movement in the hands and the feet. Maybe eventually hugging the knees into yourself. Rolling to one side of the body. Coming up. Maybe wrapping up. And let's sit for just a moment here. Seeing how you feel now compared to the beginning. And I hope this practice has helped you today. Bring our hands to prayer position at the heart. The light within me honors and bows to the same within each of you. Namaste.